This is Derek Chamblee, broadcasting from Chamblee, Atlanta, the next great American city, Battleground Zero, the epicenter of the 2017 civil defense of the United States of America. And it's a cloudy but a beautiful day in Chamblee, Atlanta. It's winding up on high noon, Monday, July 10th, 2017. Following the breaking news of breaking stories just in about 12 minutes ago from the New Yorker, advertised that Trump is dragging America down. It's written by John Cassidy of the New Yorker, NewYorker.com, and we're going to skip down in the article. This is Derek Chamblee, CyberCitizen Network. All talk, Trump executive action. And we'll start at the top. Just when you think you've seen it all, out comes another Donald Trump tweet or tweet storm to prove you wrong. On Sunday morning, America's 45th president, having just returned to Washington from the G20 summit in Hamburg, Germany, pronounced his trip, quote, a great success for the United States of America. It says something about Trump's grip on reality that he could reach such a conclusion after a summit in which he and the rest of the U.S. delegation were utterly isolated on major issues such as climate change and international trade. In fact, the only way that German Chancellor Angela Merkel's diplomatic Sherpas were able to cobble together a communique that everyone could sign onto was to include a section that noted America's decision to withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord, but which added, quote, leaders of the other G20 members state that the Paris Agreement is irreversible, unquote. The symbolism here was powerful in a global forum that the U.S. government, especially the Treasury Department, helped to create during the late 1990s. Trump's America stood alone. And goes on, and it's a lengthy article. It's recommended reading, just come out from the New Yorker. John Cassidy, Trump is dragging down America, and later in the article gets into his deals with V. Putin, president of Russia, in connection with several things like cybersecurity, and the interviews on Sunday with the U.S. Senator from South Carolina, Lindsey Graham, that said President Trump must be the last one in the world that knows that Russia did not meddle in the 2016 presidential campaign election. And we touched on that before, following the story that it was really the anti-Trump Republicans that were the Never Clinton that became the Never Trump that became the Never Clinton again, that made a deal with candidate Donald Trump in July, just before the Republican National Convention, that they had a way through the cyber world to the Diebold voting machines and whatnot to flip the votes in Florida and Wisconsin and give those two states to candidate Donald Trump in the general election in November. Trump gets the nomination, they get their agenda, and at that time, that's when Donald Trump knew the election was rigged. He went on a Sunday show with candidate Vice President, now Mike Pence, and he said the election was rigged, and they asked the candidate for Vice President Mike Pence, and Mike Pence said, no, it's not rigged. However, they knew all along the origin of the leaks, the hackers, the vote flipping, the dirty tricks with the voter databases so that mail-out ballots would be undeliverable, things of that nature. And this was Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, Scott Walker, Paul Ryan, Lindsey Graham had knowledge of this, and that's why they want to divert the origin. And of course, the governor of Florida, Rick Scott, who was always in the Trump camp, and they flipped the votes in Florida and Wisconsin to deliver those two states in the Electoral College. Without those two states, H. Clinton would have won a narrow victory also in the Electoral College. And so they want your attention to be focused on Russia and not the top Republicans, because if Trump goes down, and he knows this is his side blackmail on the Republican Party, the leadership, and he said early on, you may not remember, that the hacking and the dirty tricks came from his political enemies, meaning the anti-Trump Republicans. And so President Trump has it on them in the great deal. If he goes down, they all go down. This is Derek Chamblee, broadcasting from Chamblee, Atlanta. Beautiful day so far. Monday, July 10th, 2017. Thank you very much.